In praise of paradox, a party political broadcast on behalf of a common man. Alright? No bollocks. Cut to the chase, as they say. What is it, eh? What is it? The worst thing about life today. Alright, I tell ya. Not being a puff. There, said it, straight out, no messing. Now I'm going to get grief for this, see? Not least off me puff mates. Puff mates, you say? How's that then? Well, I'll tell ya. It's like this, see? I just found out about paradox. Fucking great is paradox. Explains a lot without explaining shit. Yeah, mate. Fucking love paradox. Why didn't I find out about it earlier, eh? Would have saved us an enormous amount of fucking trouble. Oh well, water under the bridge now. Too late now. Of course I'd heard about the word before, but it was always just an odd word floating about. No real value or meaning, you know what I mean? But now, well, it's a saving grace, see? It allows everything without condoning or negating anything, see? And this lets me off the literalist hook. Paradox, it's like some mega magical giant who can come along when you're trapped, caught on the end of an hook, thrashing around out of water. And along comes Paradox, king of the magic circle, reaches out and bang! Bashes a fisherman one on the head, takes you off the hook and throws you back in the water, where you can swim off, chastened, but confident again in your inner beliefs, and fuck what anyone else thinks or says. Hooray for Paradox, king of the world! Notice I never said universe. I would say universe, but I don't believe in universe anymore. Fuck me, they had me going there for a while though. Really bought into it, I did. Twisted me mind into all kind of knots. What a fucking dork, eh? Thankfully, there's new-seared people than me. Otherwise, I'd be right up a creek without a paddle. But I ain't, and I've got a lot of folk to thank for that. Especially old Herbert Reed. You heard of old Herbert Reed? He put me onto paradox, see? Set me free from the prisons of linearity and literality. So thanks, HR. And while I'm at it, I'll thank old Thomas Hardy too. Taught me about non-universe. Taught me how there ain't no one centre of the universe external to myself. How we're all centres of a universe, all equally important. Now, whilst that was just an idea, a concept, well, to be honest, I was still fucked. Well and truly. But I worked on it, see? Got to grips with it, grappled with the outer shell of the idea, gnawed and gnawed away until it cracked open. And there it is. The world turned inside out. Well, I see I've gone right off my original point here. So getting back, the toughest thing for a straight down the line, thoroughbred heterosexual male today, which means you've got an inbuilt aversion to camp, is that you are corralled into having to accept it. Homosexuality and camp, that is. Don't matter a fuck to those who ain't as sensitive in the way you are, that this makes you cringe and recoil, and the thought of some same-sex attempts at coupling is repellent to you. You have to tag along, don't you? Go along with it, because there's a coercive, monopolised diktat in place, see, that is fascistically liberal and punishes any resistance to its ideological impositions. Now, just because you don't agree with homosexuality or feel tolerant to camp, don't mean that can't have no poor friends, which the fascist liberal will insist on, see, using linear, rigidly applied adversarial arguments. However, thanks to paradox, which can be felt to exist in your own living and dynamic experience, I can circumnavigate this obstacle, which then allows me to have mixed feelings about anything and everything. So I can disagree with homosexuality without having to insist on anything, without having to defend an alternative position, see? I can now openly express my feelings without necessarily insisting that they are, or should be, universal. So, the truth is that I'm uncomfortable being in the company of a male, or males, who I feel might find me sexually attractive. It impacts on my sense of masculinity. However, I don't want nothing done about it, see? I don't need no fucking fascistic impositional diktats from anywhere or anyone telling me or other people what they can or can't fucking do or feel. So this is where I have some sympathy for Muslims, see? Because at the moment they're between a rock and an hard place. They get this fucking great corporate entity that we call the West banging on its fucking door with guns and all kinds of shit, busting down social institutions and stuff that have taken millennia to evolve, and in its place putting up a fucking great high street selling shit, using flat linear adversarial argumentation as an intellectual weapon to bludgeon down the opposing arguments. And in the background we have the nuclear threat that has already been used to subjugate Japan. Of course, it ain't really the West that's just a MacGuffin, innit? Like universality, it's an illusion. We're all being used. But what is it that is using us, eh?